Hello, today I will be discussing how to start the process of designing a workflow in the EnterWorks platform. The focus of this conversation will not be around configuring a workflow in EnterWorks, but the steps prior and what to consider when designing and building a workflow within the platform. Consider using tools like Visio, Lucidchart, and Draw.io, or any tool where a process can be modeled. And also consider identifying key stakeholders that will be impacted by the workflow: business, IT, and end users. In the first step, you want to identify the use case for your workflow. In my example, the use case is for product onboarding. The initial step within the workflow is a supplier initiates a product into the workflow. Next, the supplier enriches the product. Following the merchant enrichment. Next, the product flows to a parallel process where the web, logistic, and regulatory and compliance team would do or complete additional enrichment. Following merchant review, and then the end state. What also needs to be considered is the data object that will flow through the workflow. In my example, the impacted data object is a product object. But based on your business needs, your impacted data object may be a customer object, location, or a vendor record. You should also consider impacts to your data model. You may need additional objects, maybe additional attributes, maybe additional taxonomies or hierarchies to build into your data model. Also, you need to identify a list of actors that will be impacted by your workflow or systems. In my example, the workflow is manual and users involved, but your workflow may just be automated and have systems. Next, you want to document any business rules that needs to be a part of your workflow or triggers that needs to be a part of your workflow. As you can see, I have several different triggers built into my workflow. For example, a supplier can submit a product to the merchant by clicking a submit button, and then the merchant could review it and send it back to the supplier. You also want to identify impacts to any inbound or outbound integration. Workflows can be very dynamic. Products could be initiated automatically into the workflow by inbound integration, or you can build in processes within your tool or within your workflow to outbound integration or outbound systems. Next, definitely use your workflow as intended. So if your workflow was designed for products only, do not try to incorporate customer objects or customer records within your workflow. Look at different ways or alternatives, maybe building a separate workflow or designing or building business rules to handle those type of data objects. And keep it simple. The workflow engine within EnterWorks is very powerful, but simplicity is also something to consider when building a workflow. There are plenty of tools that EnterWorks offers out of the box that can assist with scheduled jobs, automation, and data synchronization. Well, thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this session. Have a wonderful day.